Okay. The channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to be playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight Starla Hutchton as Carolina Swift,
Hello, friends.
Jenny Meltzer as Zaleen. Uh,
You're muted.
we didn't hear anything from Zaleen just there, but um,
Can you hear
but
me now?
yes,
That's
and
weird.
Paul Fisher as Zinhorn Windborn.
Good evening.
And regular viewers will recognize that we usually have other people here, both Mark Kilfoyle and our recently joined friend John Merlin, but both of them are unable to play tonight, so it's just us here tonight. But that's all right, because we've got a special episode planned. First, we are going to rewind time a little bit and visit the nether realms, the realms of dreams, the realms of the subconscious, deep within the mind of one Carolina Swift. You see, when last we left our heroes, they had been fighting off a dragon released from the strange magical deck of cards that
Oops.
Carolina was using. Well, you knew it was a risk. It was all it was calculated decision. But as you were leaving the temple in order to try to deal with this mysterious creature, all of a sudden Lynn just collapsed, unconscious. And through all attempts to understand what was going on, it appeared that she was just asleep, as far as any medicine could determine. And yet, you could not wake her. And so, we now are going to peer into the dreamscape of one Carolina Swift. And what we begin with is you, Lynn, as you are performing in the Cunning Oaf, the tavern that you found a home in back in Pashan. And this is the night that you met your new friends. And you remember it, but things aren't quite right. And you begin to become aware that this must be a dream. Because you kind of instinctively know that this is the night that you meet everybody. You have that thought, and yet they haven't arrived yet. So the only way you could know that you are now experiencing a memory must be a dream or something else. But what you feel is this powerful sense of anticipation. You're there, you're kind of off in the corner that where you usually kind of mentally prepare yourself for when you might be going to perform. And people are kind of doing their own thing. There's the patrons there and so on. But as you kind of look closer at each, you sort of realize that it's almost like everyone is in some sort of a slight stasis where they're in a loop of only about 10 or 15 seconds where no time seems to really be passing. People aren't frozen, and yet they're not doing anything else. Whatever it is that they're doing, they're only doing that. And as you kind of start increasingly being aware of this strange experience you're having, you continue to feel instinctively some sort of a building pressure, like this is just preparing you for something. Something else is going to happen. Is it your new friends are going to show up? Is it something else? What do you do?
trying to think of what I was doing that night. Um, I am going to stand up and go over to the bar
Mm-hmm.
and kind of observe everyone, see if I'm attracting any attention, like if anyone's looking my way, anything different.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make a perception check.
I just forgot how to do this.
I'll get one of those plastic things with the numbers on it.
Yeah, man. It's not gonna. Why aren't you rolling? Nope.
All right.
Yeah, he's just not doing it. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. You know what? It's fine. We don't really need those rolls tonight anyway. This is all kind of what you find is in a very dreamlike experience. You sort of decide that you're going to get up and go to the bar and see what else might be unusual, and yet you can't quite make yourself move the way you expect. And instead, you become aware of someone approaching you, and it really stands out because no one else is really moving anywhere or doing anything other than a few seconds worth of idle animation. But now a figure that you can't quite make yourself look directly at, but can sense in your peripheral vision, is approaching you and standing just to one side where you can't quite make yourself turn your head to look at her. And a voice says, "Who do you think you are?"
It's not a friendly voice. Um, Carolina Swift.
And who is that? A singer?
Tonight? Yes.
Why do you have my cards?
Oh. Well, I didn't really want them, but we were trying to find well, I assume that you must be Isilda. Um, we were trying to find a way to get you out so we could help you. It's a very long story.
Suddenly, you feel your chair drop out from under you, and it's almost as though the entire bar around you has just melted into mist, and you're falling through a void. And then you're in another familiar scene that is likewise dreamily uncanny. And this is a time before you came to Pashan, but after you had left your teacher, when you were traveling around a little bit still, and there was an occasion where your ability to change yourself was discovered by someone else. Tell me what happened.
Hmm. Let's see. I was probably on the road and being distracted, just kind of thinking through different people that I'd met along the road. And I mean, it's pretty fascinating, really, because there's so many different people than what I'm used to. And I mean, it's a fairly major road. So all kinds of different people and different shapes and colors and sizes. So I imagine in my distraction in flipping through these images, um, probably let a little bit of that slip in my appearance, not realizing that anybody was around, and um, trying to think where they would have come from. Probably a traveling, um, uh, not peddler, I suppose,
Could be
carrying
just a
goods
merchant,
from,
you know.
yeah, just a merchant carrying goods from one place to another, was
Mm.
like off on the side of the road and, you know, fixing something, battening the hatches or whatever, and happened to look up and see this weird shifting appearance, like probably like my height was changing a little bit, and maybe, I don't know, maybe a tail might have appeared or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a very startled gasp from over on the side of the road,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of made me freeze in my tracks. It's like, oh, what do I do now?
Yes, and somewhat like the scene at the tavern, you'd feel almost frozen in this moment where you and this merchant have seen one another. You know what he saw. He knows what he saw, at least, this superficial details. But neither of you have had time to react to this yet. And you sense coming from behind you that same sort of presence that won't let you quite look straight at her. And she says, "What did he do after this?"
Um, hmm. Trying to decide how bad I want to make this. I'm really bad at improv, but
Well, don't think of it about it like that. So think about it in the context that what she says is, whether consciously or not, this is what you chose to show me. And what type of memory it is will tell me how you feel.
well, I think immediately I would have noticed, kind of watching his face kind of in slow motion go from confused to just this slight flash of fear in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at which point I probably would have started into some kind of um, explanation, rambling explanation really fast about, just practicing my magical spells, because I think I had
Mm-hmm.
prestidigitation at the very beginning anyway. So, and try to brush it off with that
Mm-hmm.
in some way.
So
Because
a lie
the
though.
fear in his eyes, yeah, the
Okay.
fear in his eyes was very the exact opposite of what I've ever wanted to see from someone.
Mm-hmm. Why did you feel like you had to lie to someone on the side of the road who you would likely never see again?
I I didn't want him to be afraid of me.
Perhaps he should be. Or if not, why shouldn't he be?
Well, I would never intentionally try to hurt someone or trick them. I try really hard not to.
Hmm. And in this situation, you felt that the best way to avoid hurting this man or scaring him was that he should not know who you really are.
Well, if you are who I think you are, I think maybe you would understand that logic.
This is about me understanding your logic.
People are not always accepting of things that are different or new. And I know history within our shared culture that there's some precedent for being afraid of someone who can change how they look.
As you say that, um, suddenly it feels as though a powerful wind starts to gust and dust starts to blow and everything starts to dissolve as though it was a painting made from, one of those pieces of artwork where it's just colored sand drizzled on the ground. And so this whole scene starts to just blow away like that's all it was. And then you realize that you are back in the kitchen of your teacher Siona's home. And you are sort of belatedly aware that you are much younger. And you can look over across this little kitchen table. And at first, you're saying this is Siona. And you realize that this is her telling you the story of the heroes of legend for the first time. But specifically, it was the part where she was telling you about Jinxie. And then as you're sort of, your eyes feel a little funny and you realize almost only when you close your eyes does it feel like the presence across the table from you is not in fact Siona at all, but this woman who's been interrogating you. When you open your eyes, you see Siona. When you close your eyes, that's not who you feel across the table. Stories you have been told, the stories most people know. Changing your appearance is a sign of deception, of lies.
Well, that can't always be true.
Did I say that it was? These are the stories that are in your mind.
I've only ever wanted to prove those stories wrong because I don't feel that's true. But I worry that other people do.
You wish to prove those stories wrong. To who? To the world or to yourself?
I've never met anyone that can do what I can do. The only examples that I have are the ones from stories. So it's not only I believe it's a matter of choice, but also I want to believe that there is an innate goodness in people, whether that's a little bit or a lot. because I don't think things are as black and white as, good and evil. I think there's shades of things in between, but stories don't really go into that. So I guess part of what I'm saying is that I wanted to know that there were other alternatives than what I've heard in the stories, that I could be different, that there are people out there that are like me, and they make good choices, and they choose not to trick people and not to hurt them and not to be deceptive. So it's not just for me, I guess. It's maybe other people out there that I haven't met yet want to know the same thing.
And yet, when given the opportunity, you lie.
It's a matter of trust and keeping myself safe.
As you're saying that, you feel disoriented because the room around you seems to grow bigger. It's the same house, the same kitchen, but gradually you realize you yourself are even younger now. And you actually glance around and there's nobody else here with you. You hear muffled voices from outside, but you are alone sitting at this kitchen table. And you recognize this was the first day that your parents brought you to live with Siona instead of at home. And you know that they're talking about you outside, but you can't really hear what they're saying. And sitting here at the kitchen table, you're alone. What do you do?
Well, I know I sometimes get in trouble, but I don't think I've done anything really, really wrong. They said this lady was nice, but I don't, I don't know her. I don't know how I'm supposed to act, what I'm supposed to do. Everything is new.
Well, and you know that the reason you're here is because you're different and your parents didn't know what to do with you.
I don't know what to do with me either, so.
Mhm.
Mm.
But how do you feel about this? Leaving your home, your family, living with this new person?
Well, sad, because that home is the only home I've ever known.
Mhm.
Maybe not quite understanding why I'm here, being able to sense some frustration from my parents, but yeah, not entirely knowing, understanding fully why it is that I'm here.
Mhm.
I just know that my parents have not been happy, specifically with me.
You glance out the window, and for a moment, it's disorienting, almost like the sun is just shining too bright through the window, but you catch just a flash of someone you you think you know in your real life, but it's hard to remember because you feel like that isn't someone you're going to meet for a long time, and it's your friend, but it and then they're talking to someone else, but then the door opens and the light shines through the door so bright that you're dazzled for a moment. And then when you can see again, you're at your home that you grew up in before this. And it is the first time that you became aware that the way you could change yourself wasn't something that other people could do, and it made you different. What happened then?
Trying to remember how old I was at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really, really, really young.
Yeah. Well, so it might have been something that you did naturally as long as you could ever remember. But when was the first time you realized not everybody else can do that? It's just you.
Mm, Probably got scolded by one of my parents for likely copying someone's face that had come to the farm. Um, like staring at them real intently. And then my parents, who kind of know the signs, would immediately start to panic. And my mother, or yeah, we'll say my mother, excused herself and took me elsewhere to explain, don't do that. You can't. You have to just look the way you look. Um, Not everybody is comfortable like with changing your face, and that might be scary. And being little, I would say, well, why why and just being really confused and knowing that my mother was upset with me but not fully understanding why.
Mm-hmm. So I think at this very instant, it is the time you recall that she was frustrated but couldn't quite make herself understood and had kind of stormed out of the room, and you were left with that feeling of confusion and frustration, and you feel this presence again saying, I wish for you that you could have grown up knowing that you are normal for what you are.
Not all of these memories are pleasant, but I think that they are necessary in order to become who I am.
And who are you?
Mm, Well, that's kind of a tricky question because I didn't used to know, really. But now I sort of know. It hasn't really sunk in yet. It's nice to know I'm not alone, that there's other people like me, but I'm not sure how much I'm like them. If that makes any sense. Just knowing what I know about Denethor, it's complicated.
Hmm. Indeed. Well, I can answer one question for you. and you feel everything sort of, dissolving again. And this is a moment where you are not really embodied within yourself, but you are nonetheless dreaming of a moment and you know just when it is. Your mother is in labor with you, and you recognize it as the mother you always grew up with. There's a midwife there, and your father and your older brother is there. But at that time, you feel your consciousness splitting, and you see across this little village that you grew up in the inn, there is some strange ritual happening. And you recognize two figures, one of whom looks very much like when you allow yourself to be in a completely neutral state. The pale skin, the eyes, etc. And as they perform a ritual, you can sense the magic of that leaving them and traveling across town and going into you as you're born. And when that has finished, the person who did look like that now looks like an ordinary human. And you hear the voice in your head say, "There are others of us that just wanted to hide, that just wanted to be normal. And they found a way to make it happen, even though it meant simply passing that magical quality onto another. But they were so afraid that they were willing to place it on someone unprepared, someone unknowing. I'm sorry that that was done to you, but I'm not sorry that you are what you are."
I think I agree with you. I don't I don't dislike what I am. I don't look at it as a curse so much as I the person that gave me this was not strong enough, or I don't, that seems like the wrong word, for whatever their reasons. Didn't want it, couldn't handle it, and found a way to give it to somebody who could. It's given me an appreciation for all kinds of people, regardless of what they look like. There's a million stories in every face, and I get to appreciate that in a way that a lot of people never will. So I suppose I'm grateful.
And so now you want to prove, not to yourself but to the world, that shape changers are not always evil. How?
Well, that's kind of the big question. I didn't really know how. That's part of why I left. And I don't know, I just try to find ways to do good, even if they're little things.
To do good, even in little ways, is good. But how can it prove that shape changers are good if nobody ever knows?
Well, some people know. My friends know. And I think that's a step in the right direction. So maybe, uh, I think it's maybe not so much that the whole world knows, just if the people that are important to me know, that might be enough.
The this vision changes again, and you find yourself in that ruined tower at the Reclaimers Academy. When you last saw the reflection of Isilda, wounded in a way that she knew she didn't have long, you know that this is just before she sealed herself in her own cards. But now it's just you and her there, and she looks up at you and she's clutching her stomach where she's bleeding badly. And she says, "There are evil people in Dinuther, and those who sealed it away sought to protect the rest of the world from them. But in doing so, they locked the rest of Dinuther in with them.
I understand why they did what they did. I want there to be another way. But I don't have that answer.
This is what Alistair and I worked for. Even the desire to protect the rest of the world from those at the top of Dinuther. It is a desire to do good, but in that they have committed injustice. There are good people in Dinuther left behind, imprisoned unjustly. And I cannot believe that leaving them imprisoned forever is the only way to protect the world. I refuse to believe that. Alistair and I were trying to find a way inside. This is something that I cannot even really ask you to do, because your life is your own, and mine is little more than a shadow now. But there is a way to create a door without bringing down the entire shield.
That's wonderful news.
It is not easily done. You will need 3 things. There is a Dinutherian relic that was present at the temple, but stolen years ago by the Reclaimers expedition. And you see in your mind a midnight stone, the deep jade, like amulet, rimmed with gold, kind of a star shape. It has magical properties that prevent decay and are needed to go with a diamond with infinite facets. An intensely magical gem, last known to be found in the Feywild. It can reflect the constantly shifting magical frequencies of the Dinutherian seal. And those 2 items together, if placed on a pedestal of complete stability outside the shield, can create a tunnel. I give you this knowledge, and what you do with it is your own path.
I know it's probably completely in vain, but I would at least give it a shot with like trying healing word or something on her, even though
Sure.
I because
Yeah.
I know in theory it's a dream, but
Yeah, you find that you try, but the your magic just doesn't come. It doesn't exist here. And she looks to you and just says, "I wish it were that easy."
we'll find a way to help you.
The way to help me is to help the people stuck inside. If you can do those 3 things, find them together, perhaps there is a way. Another way that is not allowing the evil to run rampant, but is also not imprisoning the good along with the evil, and requiring the sacrifice of good to preserve that shield. There needs to be another way. I believe that there must be. I hope that you can find it in a way that I could not.
I have some good people helping me, so we'll do everything we can.
I hope that I know that my cards have a destiny, and that they have found yourselves into your hands cannot be an accident. Use them well. Oh,
I'll try.
one last thing. And she kind of coughs, and a little blood comes out of the corner of her mouth. The the dragon armor that has just been released is I sealed it away because it proves surprisingly difficult to kill. It has a tendency to come back. Keep that in mind. And then you find your your vision kind of swirling, and it's almost like there's this strange sort of riffling sound, and you realize it's the sound of like cards shuffling, and you can't see. It's almost as though your memories are being shuffled, reshuffled into the cards. And then you open your eyes and you are back in Sunia, and it is Carolina waking up. You're waking up in the bed, and you hear people. It's you see Sequential and Sorashana cheering, and you look over, and they are manning some cannons, and that is where we are going to leave off for that segment of our story.
Great. Unkillable dragon armor. Awesome.
Yay!
So, Carolina has been brought back up to speed. Um, so, for the other portion of our episode tonight, I think we're going to jump back into a little bit of another game of Roll for Shoes. And so I had suggested in this case that the three of you are going to play um, a crew that has been planning a heist in the city of Emersham that had been meticulously planned, every detail accounted for. You are planning to rob this mysterious organization that had organized an excavation of the Temple of Marushka, and you're going to steal the artifacts that they took out of that place. And it just so happens that the day this all goes down is the day that a big undead dragon armor attacks the city. So, I think that we need to begin. So, just for anyone watching who has not seen one of our previous episodes or is not familiar with the game, generally, Roll for Shoes is a very simple micro RPG where you start with no skills generally, and you roll a d6 for everything. And if you get a 6, then you get you can upgrade your skill into and roll 2 dice for the next time if you do that. But I'm also rolling dice, and so it's basically pretty straightforward. You'll get it as we pick it up going along. But first, I think what we need is the building the crew montage. Oh, we've got Viv in the chat. Hello. So I think what we need though is the putting the gang together flashback montage. And so what I would like, as we imagine some nice jazzy Ocean's 11 style music playing over this, I think each of you gets to start with one skill that's already at 2. And it represents the thing that you're good at, which is why you've been brought into this crew. So what I would like from each of you is the brief little vignette of your character doing something with that skill, the skill that is why you're on the crew, before we have the gang come together.
I want to be a lock picker.
Okay.
Like that's what I'm really good at,
Mhm.
picking locks.
Okay. So what's a little scene of that of you, like what lock are you picking in order to show the audience that you're a lock picker?
I'm picking like a warehouse lock,
Mm-hmm.
like back in a dark alley, just sort of like clicking through it because there's a good amount of stuff in there that I want to get out. And I imagine that the people who are putting this heist together probably caught me in the act. Maybe it was their warehouse.
Well, so
like, oh.
what I was going to suggest is that you are we show that is this like in the middle of the night you've snuck into this place and you're picking the lock, and I think that you we watch you carefully. Is this classic lock picking? Do you have some special style that you use?
I have like a really fancy lock picking set that is just like Edward Scissorhands, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's just this cool little like one like a hand type thing that has all these different little tools on it that I can just like flip to whatever I think will fit that lock.
Nice, nice. What do you look like?
I am a tiefling, a female tiefling with like a red tiefling with white hair, and I'm pretty tall
Mm-hmm.
and really, really like thin and voluptuous. Like I don't look like I'm a lock picker to just everybody. Like I'm pretty fancy, pretty hot,
Nice.
and my name is Click It.
Click it. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so you are starting with 2 dice in lockpicking because it's your specialty. So I am rolling 1 die for the difficulty of this particular task, but you're rolling 2 for your skill. So I'm rolling 1, and you try to beat my number. I,
8.
I got a 4, so that means you succeed, and you open up the lock as we all watch this. But oh my gosh, when you open up this locker, the loot that you hoped to be inside isn't there, but what is there is a note that says, "We want you to join our crew," and it has a location and a time that you should come meet them.
Nice.
So, who goes next?
I think I got one.
Okay.
I don't have a name yet, but I'm very perceptive.
Uh-huh.
Like I just have a really keen eye. Um, I am a little gnome, a female gnome. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm small, but I got my eye on you.
So is this
Um,
sharp eyes too? Is that
yeah.
all right? Okay.
All right. Let's see. So how did they get me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think um I think I was working as lookout for a small gang of petty thieves
Mm-hmm.
who got better at their craft thanks to me being able to spot stuff,
Mm-hmm.
sound the alarm. Um yeah. Um maybe let's see. I think the crew was trying to pickpocket um a particular target
Mm-hmm.
that I picked out. I found the person that had the most money, but maybe didn't look it
Mm-hmm.
because those people are real subtle.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, and I sent the crew after this particular person
Mm-hmm.
to
Nice.
pick their pockets.
All right. So I think that you are watching the successful pickpocketing that you organized go down from a rooftop, and as it goes well, you hear like the sound of like a little bonk 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 of someone that has like thrown a pebble up onto the roof. And as you turn, you don't see anybody, but you see some weird sort of like paint markings and streaks on a couple of places. And then as you kind of squint and look around and move your head a little bit, you discover that if you're looking from just the right perspective, you can see letters made up from all of these different marks, but only from just the right spot. And it tells you where and when to meet.
That's so cool. Those people are clever. I'm gonna get in on that.
Nice. Did you come up with a name?
Not yet. I'll get back to you
Okay, sure.
momentarily.
How about you, Paul? Who's your
I am Clunk Plunkett,
nice?
and Clunk is an acquirer of safes,
Okay.
and he's got a cart and a pony, and he's currently backed up to a nightclub, and he is tapping his hammer and chisel in time as he is undermining the safe that is built into the wall, and
Okay.
then to the music in the nightclub so that nobody hears him.
Mm-hmm.
And when the rocks are just about ready to give out, he backs up the cart underneath the safe, and it just
Okay.
drops onto the safe, and he takes off with the safe.
All right. Well, so what specific skill do you think is it that he is so exceptionally good at?
He's a stoneworker,
Oh, okay. All right.
and he's got some rhythm too. But um,
Okay. So stoneworking too.
stoneworking miner, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's. I didn't make Starla roll for hers, but let's go ahead and have you roll here. So you're rolling 2. I'm rolling 1 uh,
Okay.
for this particular job. I got a
A,
4 again.
a 3 and a 6.
Okay, yeah. So you succeed on that particular job, but I think as you feel the heavy thump as the stones give way just as you planned, and the safe drops into the back of your wagon. As you are pulling away excitedly, you glance back, and on the back of the safe, where it had been facing the wall, is written a note that says, "We want to talk to you. Here's the meeting place."
Okay.
So the three of you were assembled by this, a very short but and oddly scruffy looking. I say oddly because he's dragonborn, and so dragonborns don't usually look scruffy, but he manages it somehow. And he's short for a dragonborn, but he smokes a lot of cigars, and he has assembled this crew. And here's the thing: we've got the score of a century. There's this expedition that has gone down and pulled some heavily magical stuff out of that temple. And we're going to lift it off of them before they leave town. And so you had planned out in meticulous detail exactly how all this was going to go down. You had, timetables and maps and blueprints and everything organized to pull off this heist expertly. And then the morning that it's supposed to happen, you're all ready to do this. Word starts. They start announcing in the streets. Everyone, return to your homes. There is a dragon on its way that may attack the city. Please stay indoors. And on the one hand, distraction. On the other hand, you were supposed to be relying on a cleverly orchestrated traffic jam to force a cart to go down the right road so that you could lift the goods out from under it. And this has going to change everything. So now you're going to have to wing it.
That always goes well.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. So what you know is right now there is in the warehouse district, there is a warehouse that is got a bunch of, there's the recruiter who had recruited some people to dig, and they've got like a bunch of guards that hang out and guard the location at that warehouse, and it's heavily guarded in the warehouse, which is why you were planning to try to take the stuff when they try to move it. But right now, it seems like, everyone has been told to stay inside, but it's not like there's people forcing you to do that. And you don't know how they're going to react. You just know that the old plan is off. Got to improvise. So, what do you do?
We'll look for another route.
Hmm?
um,
Do we have a name for you?
yes. Tammin Sparkle Cord.
Tammin Sparkle Cord. Nice. All right.
So I would think the first step would be to scope out the warehouse to see if there's any movement.
Okay. Well, that seems like something that Sharp Eyes would help with. Go ahead and roll your two dice. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll just one for this because you're just sort of scoping out the outside.
Got a 6 and a 4.
All right. I just got a 3, so you're still good there. But with a 6, so the other mechanic that we didn't explain is that when you fail, you get experience. And you can use experience to turn a die into that wasn't a 6 into a 6. And that's how you can upgrade skills. But for something that's already at 2, you would need both 6s in order to upgrade to 3. That's the other piece of that. But so you succeed though, and what you see is that they've got right now, right this minute, all of the guards that had been patrolling the outside have been called inside for the moment. The doors seem to all be locked, but you have seen that right now, the large number of guards they have are all inside, none of them patrolling the outside of the building. And so it seems like the outside of this warehouse is completely clear, and it has the same sorts of entry and exit points that you've seen previously. There is a big wooden sliding door that is used for like cargo and stuff, but is kept locked. There is a smaller, like human-sized entry door, and there's a couple of second-story windows, and then a big skylight on top. You've seen all of those things, but what you know is there's usually guards out inside and outside, and right now all of them are inside.
So I would report this to my colleagues. So I think if they're all in there, there's way too many of them. What if we force the issue?
Well, I mean, maybe we could do a distraction.
Well, yeah, I guess I kind of had something like that in mind. If we're gonna force them out, like I was thinking maybe start a little fire, just a little one.
Fire. Yes.
As a tiefling, I just kind of pull up my hand and like make fire go in the palm of my hand.
You. Fire. Make sure to leave the door open so they can run out.
Make it look like a dragon was there.
Okay. So, I guess I'm gonna go over there and, I don't know, set some stuff on fire.
All right, like what? Just like the outside of the warehouse wall, or where you gonna get some garbage or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna go and pull some stuff out of their garbage, and I'm gonna set it up on the one side of the door. Which door do we want to use, you guys? Like
Well,
The
we
big
want
human one.
the big
Not
door.
the really big one, but the big one.
Yeah, we have to leave the big door clear so they can see. Now I want to start talking with an accent like that, but
Well, like everybody's from Long Island and in
This town ain't
in
big enough
Amersham.
for the four of us.
forget about it.
Forget about it.
Long Island.
So I was thinking maybe leave the really big door clear so they can get out with stuff.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over and start my fire
Mhm.
right by the big human door, like where they come in and out.
Okay.
And yeah, fire.
All right. Roll to start a fire.
I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6. All
Yeah.
right. So I think that so I rolled a 2, which means you succeed, and because it's a 6, you can upgrade your skill. So what do you think? Arson?
Yeah.
Like fire starter.
Arsonist.
Yeah. All right. So what you do is you have taken a bunch of this garbage. Go ahead and just I guess describe this fire that you have created.
So I get like there was a bunch of paper wrappers that they had in their trash that they were wrapping some of these relics in it, trying to keep them from getting broken.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just grabbed a bunch of this paper and I stuffed it around the door, and I just like with my fingers I was like whoosh, and then I set it on fire. And
Mm-hmm.
then I like ran back and hid and watched to see how it went, make sure that it was taken off, and it did. It
Mm-hmm.
was going pretty well.
Well, so I am going to have you roll a second time though to hide after you've set this
Mhm.
fire. Um, and I'm going to roll. I'm rolling 2 this time.
I'm rolling for stealth. That is a 4.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 4 and a 5, which is a 9, which just means that they see someone running away around a corner. Someone from the window spots you running away, but they nonetheless then proceed to look down and go, "Oh, the door's on fire!" And they duck their head back inside, and there's now a bunch of shouting from inside.
Like guinea pig shouting.
Where are the rest of us? It's
You
like
tell me.
chewing on ahead. Okay. Um, say there's a little alley kind of off to the side from the
Mm-hmm.
warehouse where we can get just like a view of the door.
Mm-hmm.
So is that maybe where she's coming back?
Well, I mean, you guys
Hide.
tell. Yeah. So click it. Were you trying to run back to where they were, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I actually no. I'm gonna go off to the opposite side,
Mm-hmm.
just so that I don't draw attention to
Sure.
everybody.
Okay.
That's the professional thing to do.
All right. So click it ran the other way then. Temin, yeah, Temin and Clunk,
Damon.
or
Plunkett.
Bunk Plunkett.
Tam is fine. Just
Tam.
call me Tam.
Okay. All right.
Not picky.
Sure. So yeah. So click it started a fire and then ran away the other way. Certainly, you hear a lot of attention from inside the warehouse that has been directed at you know, the the human-sized door, which I think I didn't say before, but I think the big cargo sliding door is on one side, and then the regular human-sized door is on like an adjacent side. So a
Do
lot
I
of yeah. Go ahead.
spot like a cart, something with wheels that's big?
In the outside
Um,
or in the
yeah, in the
warehouse?
vicinity of the door that's on fire.
Roll to find a cart.
All right.
I'm gonna just roll 1.
3 and a 2.
Okay. Huh. Well, so you find a cart, and it is currently occupied by a kid. There is a like an 8-year-old kid sitting at the sort of like the reins of this cart, but it is a cart that would is in the vicinity, and it is of the proper size.
I don't want to get the kid in trouble or hurt. uh
Recruit him.
how about I run up to him and say, "Hey, there's a fire. Do you know where the nearest like brigade station is that that has, water to put it out? We need your help."
So roll to ask a kid for advice.
We have 5.
I rolled a 6, so I think he looks at you and just says, Uh, what are you talking about? Why are you even here? Like, why aren't you hiding from the dragon? I'm just waiting for my dad to come back out.
Why are you out on the street? Why do you leave you here? Don't you know it's dangerous?
I'm waiting for my dad to come back out so we can leave.
And go where? There's a dragon.
Dad, there's a strange lady here. She's criticizing your parenting. And then yeah, so a guy, a big, huge, I think he's like, you know what? I think he's just human, but he's big. He's a big
Well, I'm
guy.
a gnome, so everybody's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that he's big even for a human. And he
He's
comes
extra.
out, and he just says, "What's this? You bothering my kid?"
Well, I don't want to leave him. There's a kid out on the street here, and there's a warning about a dragon, but also there's a fire.
No, that's none of my business. But now you're getting into my business, trying to tell my kid that he shouldn't be safe on the street. You're trying to scare my kid?
Can I
You
see
should
this?
be scared. There's a dragon.
Can I see this from like where I'm hiding on the other side?
Well, sure, but what are you doing, Bunk?
Lunk.
Clunk?
I'm yeah. I'm watching the fire and seeing what the guys inside are doing.
Okay, so you're not helping with this cart retrieval business. So yeah, I mean, click it. Or are you were working your way back around? You're trying to come up and help.
I want to know if I can see from like the opposite side, and if I can, I want to like roll for fireball at this big guy. So it looks kind of like an attack from afar, like maybe it's this dragon.
Okay, yeah. Uh, Fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
so
at
that
Fireball.
you're pretty ambitious about what your character is capable. How about this?
Well, no, I
I'm
mean
gonna
just like I want to just shoot like sort of like what's that early firepower that you have? Not a
Firebolt?
fireball. Yeah, firebolt.
Okay,
Like I want to
okay, sure.
firebolt him from like the opposite side of the alley, like hidden.
Well, I'll allow that, but I'm rolling 2 dice because you're doing it from far away, trying to remain hidden.
Does that count as my arson, or is that a different skill?
You know what? I'll give it to you.
Okay.
So you roll 2 dice. I'm rolling 2 dice.
Okay.
Accurate arson.
Oh my god, I rolled a 1 and a 1.
Okay, so I rolled a 3 and a
Inaccurate
2.
arson.
So yeah. So I think that you hit Tammin and set her hair on fire. Like you're not really hurt because it just zips by, but it catches your hair, Tammin.
All right, I'm gonna run off screaming just because like I'm on fire,
The
and
kid is
also
like,
it
"Stop,
seems like a
rock
good
and
way to
roll!"
seems like a good way to get away from this situation.
Yeah. So roll to run around with your hair on fire.
Like run down the street and duck down the nearest alley.
Mhm.
Yeah. 4.
Okay, well I rolled a 3, so you at least managed to get around the corner. And then I think as you're patting, are you trying, because that you didn't,
Yeah.
that roll was not to put out the fire, that was to run away.
Yeah, no, run away and then like
Okay,
put myself
well,
out.
roll to put yourself out.
Ew.
I rolled a 3. I think that you have I mean, yeah, I think you ran around so much that now it's like it's all over your head, and it's starting to get like your collar of your clothes too, and at this point too, the guy is leaning back around the corner, just going, "Lady, you okay? I mean, come on, what are you doing?"
I would like to like run out from where I was
Uh huh.
and like hit the fire with my bags. So
Okay.
I want to like roll to put it out with my purse.
All right.
So this is going well.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll.
A 2.
Okay. Yeah. Now your purse is on fire too.
Oh my gosh!
So in
This
the
is a
meantime,
disaster.
uh, Bunk. So you're watching the door, and I think what you find is that the there is a lot of attention. You see a lot of guys looking out the window, trying to look down at the fire on the door, and someone has tried to like start to try to crack open the door because they want to try to put it out, but the windows are not in a place where like they can get to it from that side, and the person at the door is the door's half on fire, so they're being really cautious about it, but they're trying to do that, but it does seem to have attracted a lot of their attention.
All right. I'm gonna look around and see if there's a bucket of water somewhere.
Okay.
And
Roll to
go
look for a
put
bucket
a.
of water.
All right. I rolled a 1.
Okay. There was a bucket of water, but when you turned around to look, you accidentally kicked it over. You have a bucket?
All right.
No
I
water.
have a bucket. Is there water near a well or
I
some
mean,
sort?
Just put the damp bucket over my head and maybe
The-
it'll snuff out the flames.
All right. I'm running as fast as my tiny little feet can carry me,
Okay.
and I'm gonna slam this. How
Wet
tall
bucket.
are you? This wet bucket.
I'm a gnome. I am
Like-
small.
Like
Okay.
2.5
Maybe?
feet.
Yeah.
All right. So we're about the same size. So put the
All right.
wet bucket over her head.
Okay. Roll for bucket.
Roll
Bucket
for head
brigade.
bucket.
3.
I only rolled a 2, so this time it works. So yes, you're the fire is finally doused on Tam's head. Clicket's purse is still on fire, and at this point, there's a great big guy and his kid looking on in concern at the three of you, and the guy is saying, you know, look, lady. I mean, you should probably be getting inside. I mean, it's they did say that there was a dragon coming. I mean, do you need help?
Obviously, this dragon is setting people on fire in the streets. And I'm like banging my purse on the ground to try to put it out.
Okay, yeah. You can roll to put your purse out.
A 4.
Okay, yeah, you succeed, and it is now quite singed and no longer remotely fashionable, unless you think you can try to make it work. But it's definitely burned.
I just bought this purse.
Hmm.
And look at you over here, just standing around watching people on fire. Like, you're not very helpful, sir. Like, you leave your kid in the street to get burned up by a dragon, and then you watch total strangers burn.
You know what? I don't need this today. And so he goes and he gets back on the wagon with his kid, and they drive away. Or they go to drive away, unless you all try to do something to stop him.
I still have a bucket on my head, so
I don't know why I would stop them. Cart's too big for
it's not worth
for
the
me to
hassle
control.
at this point.
Yeah.
I don't
All right.
want to murder any children, so I'm just going to let them go.
Yeah. I don't feel like making any orphans today.
Yeah. Well, you didn't all make a very intimidating first impression anyway. So, so now you are all kind of off to the side. The people inside the warehouse seem like they're trying to put out the fire at the door.
What is the building made of?
I think most of it is wood, but it probably has a stone foundation.
Why don't you start in one of the corners?
Wait a minute. I have a thought. Like, what if we go and find, like, if we go up on the roof and look through the little, like, sun window thingy, maybe we could see another entry point that we could go in where they're not all gathered, because they're all over here trying to put this fire out.
Worth a shot. Couldn't go any worse than the last bit, so you know.
All right.
You should take that bucket off your head though before we go, because I don't want you to fall.
I assume that I have
Roll to take the bucket off your
This is my new helmet.
Yeah, no.
Just cut out a piece here
I
for
mean,
my
you,
face.
You said it like you were joking. Roll to take the bucket off.
Good luck.
Ate all of you. That's a 2.
Well, I only rolled a 1, so you luck out this time. The bucket is not stuck on your head.
Like that's one of your skills now is taking buckets off your head.
Remember,
Well-
everyone, to be marking experience when you fail one. Yeah. But yeah, so
You're good at scouting, right? Like maybe you could, I don't know, skulk around and see if there's a good place to climb up on the roof.
Yeah, I'll give it a look see.
okay.
And yeah, so I will
You can
try to find
look
see
for
if
the best
there's
place to climb up.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
yeah,
away
that
from the door that's on fire.
Yeah. All right. I think it is not designed with that in mind, so I'm gonna roll 2 dice, but you're using your main skills, your sharp eyes too. So, I rolled snake eyes, so you're probably good.
So did I.
Really?
What do we do
Wow.
if we both roll the
Okay.
same?
Okay. Well, I think what I will rule, both of us rolling snake eyes, as you absolutely do find the best place to climb up. However, it is the place where some of the guards are currently climbing onto the roof to try to see if they can get to a better angle to pour water on the fire, because the windows are in the wrong spot.
That's gonna be a problem.
Hey, Clunk, aren't you good at like, pushing stuff off and like dropping stuff? Maybe you could find a way to drop something on them, or I don't know, make them fall down.
You're muted.
Mm-mm.
They're on the roof. I could drop them, but there's nothing above them to drop on, right?
Well, are they already on the roof, or are they're climbing up there?
I think they're basically a couple of guys who've climbed onto the roof via that path, the path that would be the easiest.
Well, if there was some stone underneath that part of the building, I could.
Well, so
Try
I said it's a wooden building with a stone foundation.
Not
What if you
anymore.
push them through the big like sun window thingy?
Um,
Why don't you just set the corner of the building on fire? The part that's wood.
Okay. You don't have to ask me twice.
They're all busy with that part. They're not gonna see another part going up
All right.
till it's too late.
I will set the corner of the building on fire because I like it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll for your arson.
A 5 and a 1, so 6.
Okay. Yeah. So you have started another fire on the outside of this building on the far, like the opposite corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So so now they're not aware of this right away because they're all focused on the other one.
Let's go stand over here, like away from where we started the other
what-
fire, and be like, "Oh my gosh,
is there a blank wall that's just like there's no doors on it?
Yes. So of the 4 walls, one of them has the big sliding door, one of them has the regular door, and the other 2 have windows but no doors.
All right, I'm gonna try and sneak up to one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna try hammering at the stone foundation to make a gap underneath the wall
Okay.
that we can climb through.
All right. That would lead inside.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's sort of like just tunnel up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So go ahead and roll your 2. I'm actually. Yeah, I'm gonna roll just 2 dice because I like this plan.
All right. 5 and a 3.
Okay. So I rolled a 6 and a 2, so it's a tie. And I think in this case, what I will say is that it works. You have created the tunnel, but as you sort of like lift up part of the stone floor and look up into the warehouse, uh, you see that there is a guy not looking down into the tunnel, but basically standing like right next to it. So, like, the tunnel is there, but there is a guy watching them try to put out the fire, standing off in the corner, basically right next to where you would be trying to come out.
I'm gonna lower the stone down,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna call the tiefling over. Have you ever heard of a hot foot?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's feet on the other side of that stone. Make them hot.
Okay. And I will do some more arson here.
Just arson around.
I'm just gonna arson
Yep.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is a 2 and a 5, so
Okay,
7.
I'm rolling 2 also because this is also including like stealth and sneaking through a tunnel.
Mhm.
Okay, I rolled double sixes.
Oh.
So I think that you heard all of this plan, and as you craftily sneak up through the tunnel and lift up the flagstone, instead of seeing a pair of feet that you can set on fire, what you see is the business end of a crossbow.
Oh, snap.
And the guy says, "You're the one that set the fire on our door."
It was a dragon. I have a question.
Roll to bullshit.
Okay, yeah. I will roll for bullshit.
I'm rolling 2 die because he saw you.
5.
Okay, I got a 5 and a 4, so I think he shoots you.
Um,
Go
how
ahead.
do we
Mm-hmm.
before I forget?
Mm-hmm.
How do we for like using our XP
Okay,
points?
so what
if
you
we
can
wanna,
do is
like, increase
one
our
for
skill?
one. You can spend an XP point to turn any die roll that wasn't a 6 into a 6.
Okay.
And if you do that, like when it was a 1 die roll, then that is enough to make it into a level 2 skill.
Okay.
If you want to take a level 2 into a level 3, you need 2 6s, right?
Okay. All right. I couldn't remember how we did
Okay,
that.
so I got 9 for that last one.
I only got to roll 1 dice
yeah.
because it was bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So you can still upgrade the skill, but if 6 isn't high enough to succeed, then you still don't succeed, but you can still upgrade the skill.
So I can upgrade my bullshit to 2.
If that's what you want to do.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think though he is going to try to shoot you with this crossbow, so you can roll to not get shot in the face by a crossbow.
Okay.
Drop the stone and drop out
I'm
of the
only
tunnel.
rolling 1 because it's an awkward angle for him.
4.
Only a 2, so he misses, but you had to duck back down out of the way to avoid it.
Okay.
And you hear from inside that the guy is saying, "Someone's trying to tunnel through the floor." And then there's a lot of shouting between various guards of who's more busy and whose job is more important right now.
I would really like to use my lockpick, Edward Scissorhands, to, like, I don't know, slice his ankle. So
Okay.
he falls down.
All right.
Ankle slice.
Yeah,
Roll
so
to
you're
ankle
trying to
slice.
pick the lock of his Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be the thing.
Okay, so I think if you are risking another crossbow shot, so I'm going to roll 2, but you can use your lockpick too.
Okay. That is a 4 and a 4. So
I rolled 7, so yeah, you stick your head back up through there. Just move your head to the side as another crossbow bolt zips by your ear, and you just open this guy's ankle. Blood spatters your face. He screams and topples over backwards. So certainly he is dragging himself away. He's dropped his crossbow. What are the other two of you up to out there? Are you just like watching her butt stick out from this tunnel or what?
Yeah.
Uh, I am actually going to the second place where she started the fire.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to catch some rubbish or whatever, like in a sort of makeshift torch, and try to light the other corner of the building.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you don't have a 2 in arson, but you can try 1, and I'll only roll 1 now too. Also, I mean, which I got a 3. Well, there you go. So now there are 3 separate. So they have actually done pretty well. They're just about finished putting out the fire at the door, but now there are 2 additional locations that the building is on fire.
And they may not know about them yet.
Yeah, they don't seem to have noticed that yet. But while you're in the process of doing that, you do hear a blood-curdling scream from inside.
Oh, I hope that was them and not us.
I did slice that guy. Maybe
Uh,
it was him.
So, Bunker, you're just
Clunk.
watching, huh? Am I?
Yeah, my name is Clunk.
I thought
Not
it was.
Bunk.
I thought it was Bunk Clunkett.
No, Clunk
No, it was
Plunkett.
Plunkett.
Plunkett. Okay. Sorry.
Clunk Plunkett.
Sorry.
I wrote it down.
How could I forget?
I could forget. That's why I wrote it down.
Roll to remember your name.
5.
Well, I rolled a 6, so
Now your name is
Bunk.
now you're suddenly wait, was it Bunk?
What? It must be Bunk.
No.
No.
Anyway.
Can I roll to debunk?
Yes, you can. Roll to debunk.
Another 4.
I got a 4 also, so I think it's you find that it would require multiple instances of debunkery. There's a lot of bunk going around. But in any case, though, so you have disabled this one particular guard, but there's now attention being drawn over to this corner of the building.
All right. I'm gonna lift the stone up.
Okay. Well, so I think she's still in the tunnel.
Oh,
right?
she's still in.
I'm in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want me to come out? I mean, I can.
Well,
come
either
out.
go in or come out.
So I'm gonna come back and try to get them away from the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Just I think we had enough of a fire going that they'll have to evacuate.
Okay.
Helping things out a little bit. So we got to get someplace where we can see them leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but as I'm leaving, I want to set the tunnel on fire.
Okay. Yeah. Roll for arson. I'm rolling 2 because it's the stone foundation tunnel that you're trying to set on fire, but you're good at
Yeah.
it.
So I rolled a 6 and a 2. So
I rolled
8.
3 total. So yeah, now the tunnel's on fire too.
Nice.
All
All right.
So what? The 3 of you run away?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
We have to have a good vantage point of the big sliding door.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, that might be the only way out.
Well, no, they got the fire out.
Well, yeah, they had been working on that part of it.
Can I have picked up that guy's crossbow as we were running away?
Well, so I would say this is roll to flashback.
Okay. Probably not 2.
You got a 4. So, yeah. So what happened is, as you're running away, you're like, oh, I should have grabbed that guy's crossbow.
Damn it.
You can go back for it now, but you did set the tunnel on fire.
Yeah, I'm not going back. I know that fire burns.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Learned that
apparently
lesson.
really hard to put it out too.
Yeah.
So I think what you are hearing as you run away, though, are an increasing number of like, hey, wait, no, there's fire over here. Oh, no, there's fire over here. Ow, my ankle.
I want to roll for a crossbow
Okay, to just have one?
to have one.
All right, sure.
1.
4. Not only do you not have a crossbow, but I think you actually have a crippling fear of crossbows.
You want me to
Say,
go
give
back
him
and get that
Give
crossbow?
him a rubber band.
No, no. Leave the crossbows alone.
But we could use them. We could sit across from the thing and like
No
pick them up as
crossbows.
they come out the door.
No crossbows.
Fine. Firebolts.
So I think the two places that were set on fire are continuing to burn more out of control because they have even less ability to try to fight those, like to put those areas out from inside. And so what you do see is the big cargo door does click and slide open. And although there are a couple of guys still finishing the job of putting the door out on the other door, several guys go around to try to start going at the fires on those far corners. But there are 2 guys that stay positioned there with short swords by the the opened cargo door, and you also hear the wailing of Mr. Bloody Ankles from inside.
How can we get them away?
Can I roll to spot something useful?
Well, sure. Sure. So here's a
I
question.
got nothing here.
No, here's a question. So I will roll 1, 2, or 3 dice depending on how useful a thing you want it to be.
Doesn't have to be deadly.
No, you tell me how many, and I'll interpret it.
Do 2.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you were rolling 2 for sharp eyes, and I'm rolling 2. I got a 1 and a 6 for 7.
Yeah. I got 4 and a 3.
Okay. Well, so what I think that you see is the useful thing in this context, this is a mixed success essentially, is that you see that they have already loaded the cart that they were gonna use with the stuff on it. And the cart is in there, loaded up with the stuff you want. But it doesn't have any animals hitched up to it, and it's still inside past those 2 guards.
So what if I distract the guards?
I could try hooking up the animals.
Do we have animals? We don't have animals.
Do they have animals inside, maybe?
That's not really typically where animals are kept.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna go look around for the animals, the horses, I guess, to draw the.
Roll for animals.
4.
I got a 4 also. So I think once again, you find a sort of pen that has a couple of workhorses in it, but sitting there with a pitchfork and a long piece of grass in his mouth is a really old, like crotchety farmer in a big sun hat, and he's just sitting against the fence. Help you, sonny?
I pull out my axe.
Okay, roll for axe. Is this just intimidation or what? Or
Oh,
are
I
you
was-
attacking?
No, I was gonna tell him he needs to hook the horses up to the
Okay, so
cart.
you're intimidating, basically.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I have to roll for an axe first, right?
No, I think he can have an axe. I'll buy
All right.
that.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 4, so I think he says, I used to be an adventurer back in the day. It's going to take more than an axe to scare me, little fella.
How about the warehouse that's on fire?
Well, that's all the way across the street.
I would kind of like to
We got to get the stuff out of the warehouse before it burns down.
Who's
I'd like
we?
to I'd like to produce a bow
Okay.
and shoot an arrow into his knee.
All right. roll to D-Adventurer.
I hope you're a better archer than you are accurate with your arson.
It's arson. You can't control fire.
Hmm.
That is a 4.
Okay, I rolled a 2. So the arrow sinks into the farmer's knee, and there's a moment, I think, where everyone else seems to react before this farmer does, where it's just like thunk, and a little blood kind of spurts out from it, and everyone else is like, oh, and he just kind of takes a moment, and looks down, and like, oh dang.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Yeah, well, I suppose. What were you asking me for?
How about maybe we could get them horses over there and hook them up to the cart. I mean, you're not gonna be able to do it now because you got that arrow in your knee.
It does seem like it would cause me some difficulty, yeah.
Yeah.
But fine. These aren't even my horses. Go for it.
Get the horses.
I'm going to get the horses.
He starts hobbling off, kind of obviously limping and just kind of going, ow, ow, ow.
I'm making that one of my skills. Arrow
okay.
to the knee.
Who wants to roll for animal handling?
I will. I'm doing so great tonight.
All right. I'm gonna roll. I'm rolling 2 dice because this is horses that you don't know being led towards a building that's on fire.
Okay.
7. So I think the horses you get them like the reins on them, and you open the gate, and then you go to lead them, and they just won't walk. They're just standing still, solid, and you're just like.
Can I oh, do I have candy in my pockets? Like, I
Roll for
work with
candy?
pickpocketers.
Yeah,
So-
I think some basic things make sense. But
I have a pony, yeah, so I might have an apple or some sugar cubes.
Yeah.
All right.
I got 5.
Okay. For candy,
Yeah,
I got 4. You have candy.
I have candy.
I
all right,
got a
so-
4.
All right.
I am going to
I
offer the
roll
horses.
one. You both have some, so
Yay.
Yeah.
We each
Offer-
take a
offer the
horse.
Yep.
We make friends with the horse.
all right. Well, I think what
Like
what this
this.
is actually you're going to roll for animal handling again, but this time it's only one die because
Okay.
you've bribed them.
All right.
I
A
got
6.
I got a 4. You got a 6, but your 6 means that you also upgrade to horse bribery.
Horse driver.
But yes, so this time the horses are like, oh, okay, yeah, no, for candy, sure. And so they're following you over to the still guarded cargo door of this on fire warehouse.
Yep.
All right.
Do you want me to try to bullshit the guards? Because I can do
Yes.
that.
Please bullshit the guards.
Wouldn't they recognize you? I think that's a bad idea.
I mean, who knows? They didn't see me. The other guy did, but that doesn't mean they all did.
There's all this chaos going on there.
Hey, I'm super good at bullshit, though, just so you know.
Mm.
Super good at it.
All right. Go forth.
Super
So
good at gaslighting.
I'm gonna go forward and bullshit the two guards,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna tell them that yeah, we're here to pick up the cart because we got to get it out of here so it doesn't catch on fire.
All right. Well, so you have 2 dice, but I also think I'm rolling 3 because that is like the opposite of what they're trying to supposed to do. Because their
That's
whole
fine.
yeah. So I'm rolling 3.
I rolled a 6 and a 4.
So that's a 10, and I rolled 10 as well. So I'm going to give you mixed again, which is to say, uh, wait. So yeah, I think that it's probably a good idea that we should get the stuff out of the warehouse because it's burning. But aren't you the
Yeah.
person who set our door on fire?
What are you talking about? That's crazy.
They go up and they're basically preparing to try to take the horses and do your plan only like without you. They're like they're coming towards you with their short swords and they want the horses.
I will arrow you in the knee, sir.
Is that are you attempting to
Oh, let
I'm
him do the
intimidating.
work. I'm short. Let
I
him do
will.
the thing. They'll be more efficient.
All right, but once they get them horses hooked up, I'm gonna
So
arrow
wait, so is someone actually doing a thing or are you just joking about stuff?
Are we gonna let them hook them up?
Why not?
So you
All
let them
right.
chase you, sort of shoo you away and take the horses and hook them up?
Yeah, but once they have the horses hooked up,
No, they got to get it out of the warehouse first. Once they start
Yeah.
leaving, then we can take it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After everything is good, then we'll ambush them and arrow them.
Sure. So what do you do? Do you run away?
Run away!
All right.
Run away!
So what about you, Clunk? Where you were leading the horses?
Yep. They didn't see me.
Well, you were leading the horses.
Right.
So
They saw you.
they
Oh,
they saw
yeah.
you leading the horses over with her trying to bullshit them.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm running away.
Okay. Well, that's what I was trying to clarify. Okay.
All right.
So I will allow you to run away because that is actually what they want right now. But they're taking the horses and they do start hooking them up. In the meantime, it does look like the warehouse is increasingly on fire in an out of control manner. Um, they are hurriedly trying to like get the wagon loaded, and they have abandoned their attempt to put out the fire. You see them loading the guy with the wounded ankle onto the cart as well, and he's got a guy right by him going, just hold on, man. We're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And then the other guy's just like, but am I gonna be able to play football? And
If I wanted to, since I rolled a 6, if I
Mhm.
want to upgrade my bullshit, can I use one of my points to make the other one a 6, or do I? Is that how that would work? Because I have 2.
yeah.
Okay.
So, well, and then for that matter, though, I think if so, try to do that before we resolve it, because otherwise, like that would have made it a 12, and we could have had it just be a success. But
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Like I thought it was after the fact if you wanted to change it to a 6 so you could upgrade.
okay,
I didn't know we could use the roll.
yeah. Well, it's unclear. I think the rules on the site suggest that doesn't work, but I think it should. So
Oh,
what
okay.
I'll say is, we're not going to retcon anything
No.
we just said, but that is how it works. If you use an upgrade and the upgrade makes the total high enough to be success, then it counts.
Okay.
All right. So, but in the meantime, though, they are loading up the wagon. They are preparing to abandon this on fire warehouse. What are you doing, Tam? Like the other two of them ran away.
Well, I see the thing starting to happen
Mm-hmm.
finally. And I want to round up my companions into the shadows, and we need to track the movements of the cart to
Mm-hmm.
find an opportune moment.
Okay. So
That might be out of town. I don't know.
roll
We'll
the herd
find out.
cats.
Yes.
I got a 3.
I got a 3 as well, but I'm going to use one of my experience points to turn it into a 6.
Nice. There you go. You have herd cats too. All right. So yeah, you gather your crew and so describe the way that you're planning to track the movements of this cart, because you
Um,
know the way that they were gonna go
mhm.
before and the way that you were gonna divert them, but that was when the roads were gonna have normal amounts of traffic on them.
Well, being a pickpocket street ruffian, I kind of know my way around this place.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to kind of stay sort of parallel to it until we can find a place where we can get up higher and I can get a better vantage point without losing it.
Okay. All right. So I'll allow you to use your sharp eyes for that. But and I'm gonna roll 2 also to basic, because the wagon can move theoretically faster than you on foot, especially with your little legs. But we'll see how it goes. Well, I only rolled a 4.
I got a 6 and a 2.
Well, there you go. So um, if you wanted to use an experience, you could upgrade your skill again.
Yes.
So for
Yes,
sharp
indeed.
eyes, you want to follow that cart 3.
Yep.
All right, there you go. So you are able to keep your crew uh, in a position where you're able to leap across rooftops while you're
Yeah,
following them, or
something like that.
but right now you've listed it as sort of looking for an opportune moment. But what does that mean? Like what would constitute an opportune moment, and or how do you create one?
Hmm. Uh, Looking for anything that we might be able to use to block the road
Mm-hmm.
or maybe like a um an opportune pothole that might damage the
But no, you
wheels.
don't want to damage the cart because we need it.
Well, I thought we were just getting the stuff off the cart and
No,
going.
we need the
No,
cart because
we
we got
need
to
to steal the cart
transfer. Yeah,
because
because we.
It's
otherwise
a
they're
heavy
gonna.
chest, so theoretically
Yeah.
you could try to carry the chest, but it would be heavy.
Um oh, I wonder if there's anything kind of like it would be like construction equipment,
Mm,
sort of like one of them big cranes, only,
sure. This
fantasy.
is the warehouse district on the
Right.
docks of a dock city, a port city. Um, so first of all, I think we should establish that there are 2 healthy individuals and the injured guy
Mhm.
riding the cart. Um,
What if? So there's only 3 of them in total.
on the cart, yeah. The others stayed behind because the cart can't, is like you know, it's a
They're
cart.
trying to
It's
put the
not, yeah,
fire
it's not a
out.
full troop carrier or anything. Yeah.
It's a
we
pity that none of us are skilled in making like sleeping gas.
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, we could like put arrows in their knees,
Yep.
and like
Or
all 3 of them,
just hack at their feet with axes.
or like with lockpicks. I mean, I did slice that guy's Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So far you've been able to keep up with the wagon, but
We got to stop him.
Yep.
the streets
Mm,
are sort of eerily deserted, as most sensible people are actually staying inside when they hear a dragon might be attacking.
Do we see any signs of a dragon anywhere,
Not so
like
far.
from the rooftops?
No.
Oh, how about I get my pony and cart and cut them off and make them stop, and then you two attack them.
I'm small. What am I
I will
So am
just
supposed to
I.
fire
do?
some. I will just fire some arrows from like the rooftops at their knees.
All right. I'm gonna
I
roll
do
to
like the
whistle for
idea of
my
cart
pony.
chase though. Yeah. So you're this is now a cart chase.
All right.
Right. So go ahead and roll. I think I'm only rolling 1 because this is your cart, your pony. You're familiar with
Okay.
it, and so you've already been following. So I'm rolling only 1 to try to catch up.
I rolled a 1. I'm spending one of my experience points to make it a 6.
All right. Now, I actually had only rolled a 1 as well, but now that you've got a 6, you're now offensive carting. Offensive carting. Does that?
Yes.
All right. So what are you doing
Oh,
as you expertly maneuver your cart in pursuit of this other one?
I'm gonna try and force them into a location where they have to stop,
Okay.
or just like cut them off.
Well,
I like whip around in front of them and block them
yeah.
like
Are
the
you just
cops
are you
do.
just going to
Yeah.
like pull in front of them, or are you trying to like sideswipe them into a building or something?
Uh, Trying to like, yeah, like side, like push them into to a building that sticks out into the road a little bit, so that
Mm-hmm.
they can't go forward.
Okay.
They have to stop.
All right. So yeah, I think as you catch up to them, you're able to come in from the side, and they have to sort of swerve to try to avoid you. The two carts are just bonking against each other, and then finally they catch the corner of their cart on the corner of a building, and it jerks, and the horses rear up, and they are tossed over. But then also your cart is just right there next to them, and they are not looking happy with you.
All right. I take out my axe and I go for the foot of the nearest guard.
Okay. Well, there are I'll say the injured guy is not up for this right now. He's not currently armed, but there are two of these other guards, so I'm rolling 2 dice against your one.
Okay.
I got 3 and 3.
is there any reason someone would store barrels on a roof?
I rolled a 1, but I'm spending one of my experience points to make it a 6.
Okay. Axe to the
Now you're
foot.
both 6.
Axe to the foot.
Okay. Yeah. So I I think that you do successfully take an axe to the foot of one of these guys, and the other guy is just like, "Holy crap!"
Can I
Um,
lock pick that guy's like
well, so
like
first
the
of all,
holy crap guy?
just to return to what Starla was saying, I think that you might have barrels on the roof for like collecting rainwater and stuff.
Well, I was just thinking about Donkey Kong.
Roll for Donkey
Yeah.
Kong.
Is this little gnome going to pick up a barrel?
Well, I was hoping maybe something would be in a position where I could just like push it off the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe not necessarily a barrel. I guess it could be a box or something because I'm
Yeah.
small.
Well, in this particular case, it would have to be in a specific location. So I think I would have to roll 3 die to try to see if you could spot something that happens to be right where the cart is already stopped.
Okay. So, and that's just sharp eyes, not follow the cart,
Right,
or
because you're not following the cart. This
Right,
is
right.
just looking for stuff. Well, I got 11, so you're going to have to do pretty good, I
yeah, I
think.
got a 6 and a 2.
Okay, you see the perfect. It is this crate full of masonry stones that is precariously balanced right on the edge of the building, 1 block over.
Dang. Okay.
I think also while you're standing there looking at the injured guy who is on his back in the cart is looking up and suddenly focuses his eyes and says, "Hey, there's another one on the roof."
I'm a lock pick that guy again.
Okay. Well, so were you also in the cart? Like where
Yeah.
were you? Okay.
I thought we were all in the cart, so I'm just gonna be in the cart.
Okay, sure.
So
See, I thought I was herding the cats, and
Yeah, well, you were. You're directing them right from the rooftops.
okay.
All right. Okay, so go ahead and roll your lockpick. I'm still rolling 2 dice.
6.
I got
Maybe you can
double
unlock his-
fives.
Maybe you can unlock his jugular.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying, but I did not.
Yeah. So
So-
I think that what you find is this: as you slash out with your lockpicks, the currently uninjured guy gets his short sword out in a lucky strike where your lockpicks are now like hooked on his short sword blade.
Oh, fudge.
Yeah.
Can I have a slingshot?
Roll for slingshot. I rolled a 6.
4.
Yeah. You have a broken slingshot.
Dang.
The wounded guy pulls out his slingshot and he shoots it at you. As you're feeling around in your pockets, you're suddenly pegged in the forehead, thunk, by a little stone. And fortunately, it was only a glancing blow, but turns out.
Okay.
All right. So, what are you up to, Clunk? You've got Clickett is in a clinch with the one wounded guy. You've got the other guy shooting a slingshot at Tam up on the roof, and then you've got a guy who is screaming about his axed foot.
I'm going to move over and try and axe the foot of the guy who's locked up with her um lockpick hand.
Mm-hmm. I'm still rolling 2 dice because although the one guy is distracted, you're also kind of moving past it's a crowded cart at this point because it's got a chest
Okay.
on it. It's got one guy with a slashed open ankle, another guy with an axed foot. It's it's crowded.
All right. I got a 6 naturally.
There you go. Well, I only rolled a 5, so once again, axe to the foot.
All right. And I rolled a 6, so that
Oh well,
means
you should have actually rolled 2 dice anyway because you were doing axe to the foot again, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you upgraded it last time.
but I spent a point to do that. Does it
Right.
still up?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what you.
Oh.
If you spend it and you get the upgrade. Yeah.
Okay. So well, I'm going to roll it just to see if it goes up even further.
All right.
All right. So I'm at 3 axe to the foot.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Why would it be 3? Did you roll?
Because I rolled a natural 6 this time.
You need to. To go from 2 to 3, you have to roll 2 6s.
2 6s.
So you can use one of your points.
Yeah.
From one of your failures that you have left to upgrade that 3 to a 6,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could make it a 3.
Right. Okay. I did that.
Okay. All right. So you've now got 3 screaming wounded guards traipsed all over this this wagon.
Okay.
And you're getting a few of the shuttered windows in the neighboring buildings starting to open and people peering down like, what is going on out there?
All right.
And then you hear at least one person saying, oh, they're screaming. It must be the dragon. It's so horrible.
I scream out, the dragon's attacking. Stay inside.
So I think what happens is you see that the guy, the first injured guy, sees his wounded companions, and he says, "I'm going to do it." And he opens the chest, and you see inside there is a small, it looks almost like a belt buckle or something like that, made of a deep green stone, and he is reaching for it.
Can I throw the pebble that the guy slingshot at me and just whip it at him?
Slingshot him.
My slingshot is broken.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that it's that would be a tough shot anyway, and it's a pebble that's not super dangerous.
Can I aim for the horse? One of the horses.
Well, you can. The cart is already sort of stuck against the side of the building, though. So all of these things just make it more difficult, not impossible. So, you'd be rolling 1 die against 3.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, I'll try it, but if I hit one of the horses and they jump just enough, the guy might go off balance.
All right. You're probably gonna have a hard time because I got 13.
Yeah.
So
I got a 4.
Yeah. I think what happens is okay. what happens is you spook the horse, which rears up and causes the wagon to jolt. And you see him accidentally hit himself in the face with this belt buckle. And then when his hand comes away, you see that the big green stone that was on it is now gone. And he's looking startled and he goes,
Oh no.
so he has apparently just swallowed the fancy stone that was on this belt buckle.
So I'm also going to take the opportunity to upgrade my stone's throw skill to 2 for
Okay.
next time.
Stone's throw. All right. So as you watch, he is looking pale and alarmed, and he's looking over. He's like, "What's this thing going to do to me? What's this thing going to do to me?" But then as you watch, his ankle starts to heal itself.
Mm.
Sorry.
Any other thoughts, anyone?
I'm gonna try to like shoulder one of these guys off the cart.
Uh-huh. All right. I think that that's just a one die thing. They're both
Okay.
screaming about their injured feet at this point.
Okay. 5.
All right, I got a 1. So that is one of the axe foot guys dumped off the side of the cart.
All right.
I would like to roll to free myself from being locked with this guy.
Yeah, I think it's only one die for that now because he is injured himself.
3.
Well, I got a 3 also, but did you roll 2? Because you should be rolling your lock picks, right?
Oh yeah. Another 3, so 6.
Okay, yeah, all
total.
right, yeah. So you have now got your lock picks free from this guy's sword, and he's also still cradling his wounded foot. But then the other guy, whose ankle you initially slashed, is looking a lot better.
Now I want to kind of lockpick him right in the guts and rip the stone out of him.
Lockpick to the guts. I mean, tell me if you want to roll for it.
I kind of do.
All right. Yeah. I'm rolling 2 because I mean, in principle, what you're trying to do is not complicated. It's just the moral hurdle.
Yeah.
Which is maybe not a problem for you.
I have no morals. That is a 10.
I got 8. So he's looking better until you stick your lockpicks into his gut. And so I think he is like suddenly pale again, leaning back, and you see that the wound is already starting to try to heal around your lockpicks, but you can attempt to find the stone in his belly.
Okay.
So here's a question. Anyone else have something to offer?
I was gonna say, can I roll to vomit over the side of the building because that's gross?
Okay, yes. Roll.
Roll for puke.
4.
Okay, I got a 6. You don't make it to the side of the building, and you vomit down the front of your clothes.
So gross.
What are you doing, Clunk, while this happens?
I'm gonna try and shove the other guy off the cart.
All right, go ahead and make your roll.
6.
Okay, yeah. So, you want to call that alley-oop too?
Oh, I was gonna call it cart shove.
Cart shove works.
Sure.
All right, so now the only guard still on the cart is this one that Clickett's got her lockpicks 6 inches deep into.
I would like to try to find the thing that he swallowed.
Yeah.
My lockpick.
I think this is a 3 dice difficulty task. So you're rolling your lockpicks still, but all right.
Oh. I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Okay, well, I only rolled a 7.
But I kind of want to use what I need to do. It would be 2 points to upgrade them both to a 6.
To
Or
upgrade
can
them
you only
both,
do
yeah.
1? Okay, so I would need 2.
You would have to use 2 experience to upgrade both. You can
Okay, I'm
upgrade
gonna
one
do
with
that.
one. All right.
I'm gonna do both of them, so it would be 12.
All right.
And now my lock picking
You
is
have
3.
like a surgeon 3.
Yeah, like a surgeon. I love that. Like a
um,
surgeon.
exactly. Okay, so you find with your lockpicks probing in this guy's belly. Tink, tink, tink. You find the stone. You've grabbed it. You've pulled it out. The guy now does not look like he is still spontaneously healing. He looks like he is dead.
Before he falls, I'm going to try and shove him off the cart.
All right. I think with I think that's a one
He's
die
still
roll.
left holding the stomach. It's
Yeah.
like Indiana Jones, only grosser.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what was your roll?
6 total.
I got
4
him.
and a 2.
I got a 1. So yeah, with a squelch, he is tipped over the side.
All right.
And I'm just holding his guts with this weird gem thingy.
Mm-hmm. I think you managed to get just the stone out, if you want. It's bloody, but yeah.
Okay.
So now what? You've got Tam a little worse for wear up on the roof, and the other 2 of you on the cart. All 3 of the guards have been tipped off the side.
All right. Come on, Tam. And I'm going to use horse bribery to back the horses up and
Okay.
move them on their way.
All right. I think that they are interested in leaving the dead bodies behind, or the dead body plus injured. So it's just 1 to roll. So go ahead and roll your 2.
I got a 6 and a 4.
All right.
10.
You're leaving your own pony and cart behind?
Oh, no, I whistle for my pony to follow.
All right.
I'm going to use...
What about you, Tam? What are you doing?
Reluctantly climb down off the roof and try to not see the disemboweled person laying in the street because gross.
I'd kind of like to surgeon both of the other 2 guys before we leave because I don't want them to tell anybody who did this to them.
I mean, you tell me.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that.
No witnesses.
Because
3.
Yeah. No witnesses.
Jesus.
That is 11.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. All right. So, do you hop onto the cart then?
Yes.
And all 3 of you are now like racing along the street with your ill-gotten gains, and just as you're feeling like this adrenaline rush of relief of a score secured, you hear a sound like boom, and as you look just to your side on the next block over, you see this blinding light flare up and fire just erupts across a whole block of buildings all at once.
Evade.
Would like to look for a safe route out of town.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. I guess sharp eyes is probably still the roll, but I'm rolling 3 because you're not in the part of town that you were expecting to be in, and
it's on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's an area that you would probably want to avoid at the moment.
So I got a 4 and a 5, but I want to upgrade.
Okay. Well, I got 10. So, are you going to try to upgrade both of those?
Yeah, I have 3, so if I take away 2, then that I can make sharp eyes 3, right?
Well, it would be more specific.
Yeah.
So we could call it find the path. All right. So you have now identified That's the way to get out of town. But here's the hazard that you do still have is that um, there's a dragon flying overhead, and you are currently the only thing moving on the streets right now. So I
Well,
think you do start to swerve and you're heading in that direction. But you do, the two of you not piloting the cart, look back and see that it has sort of started coming around, looking down at you.
we gotta get to cover.
Can I use bullshit 3 to make us not be visible? Like to kind of like confuse the dragon.
Gaslighting.
Yeah,
Gaslighting
like
the dragon.
gaslight
Yes.
We're
the
not
dragon.
here.
Okay,
You're crazy.
I want to support this, but you're going to need to explain to me how that works.
Okay, I have an idea. Is there a market district that might have like awnings and stuff?
Yes,
Like
that's what I was
tents?
thinking. Like we could kind
Okay,
of be under
okay.
something that makes it kind of look like we're stationary, but we're not.
Sure, sure. Okay, so kind of doing the thing where like when you see like a helicopter chasing a car and then it goes to go under a bridge but then doesn't come back out the other side somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure that's
Well, maybe in the market district there
how
is
about this?
a
I will let you do your bullshit 3 for that, but I'm rolling 4.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, could be.
Ooh, I rolled all 3s, so
Oh.
9.
Oh, 9. Okay. Well, I'm afraid that I rolled an 11. So I think that you attempt your thing where you find the awnings and you sort of skid to a stop underneath them, hoping that it will disguise from where you are from the dragon. But now you're like waiting. Do you hear it? Where is it? And all of a sudden, right there on the street in front of you, this thing has landed, and it is enormous, shaped like if a dragon wore a suit of armor, but now instead of a dragon inside the armor is just fire, and it's looking right at you, and the horses don't like it. They don't like it one bit. They are rearing up and they are about to panic.
I am going to use horse bribery
Mm-hmm.
again to try and turn them 90 degrees and get away from this thing.
All right, I'm rolling 3 dice because
All right.
it's a rough spot. I got 12.
4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think the horses panic and they break free of their harness on the wagon. They successfully run away, but now they are not connected to the wagon anymore.
But are they distracting the dragon?
Uh, how about this? I will allow each of
Can I
you
Peg him
let's-
with a pebble to get him to encourage them?
Yeah, I guess tell me who someone do something to try to encourage the dragon to chase the horses and not follow you guys.
I will arrow to the knee one of the horses to make it bleed.
Okay, really?
That's awful.
All right.
I'm a jerk.
Mhm. All
This
right,
game
go
makes
ahead.
me obnoxious.
Roll it. I'm rolling 2.
4.
Okay, well I got 4 also. So what I'm going to say is that it works in the sense that you hit the horse and it neighs in pain and it does seem to attract the dragon's attention. However, as soon as you do that, you realize that looking out one of the windows in the building adjacent to you is someone who looks just like your mom, very similar resemblance, and they just look down at you and they just go. They just shake their head in disappointment.
That
but
horse betrayed us.
but the dragon does chase after the horses, and so for the moment, the dragon is chasing the horses and not dealing with you guys.
So the chest is really heavy.
Yeah.
What's in the chest?
Well, so one of the things was this belt buckle that the guy grabbed, right? But
Mhm.
if you open the chest, there is a bunch of coins that would be difficult to carry separately. But also, you know that it was primarily artifacts that you were interested in, and so there are two other things. One looks like a horn, like one of like an ox horn, but like modified so you blow into it. And one of them looks like a strange bottle made of that same material that the stone was.
I say we grab them and bolt.
All right.
All right.
I grabbed the bottle.
Okay.
I already have the thing from the belt. Cool.
I'll get the horn then.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a handful of coins too,
Yeah, me too.
because I'm
Sure,
greedy.
sure. Yeah. Okay. Just for each of you grabbing an extra coin, I'm adding one more die to your next roll here.
I am
Okay.
not.
No? Okay. How about
I
this?
just want to
Okay.
get this over with.
All right. So here's the question now. Here, this is the important question. You've got the gear, the loot. The plan all fell apart. Are you going back to the rendezvous point to split it up, or are you going your separate ways?
Where was the rendezvous point?
I think
Like,
it's
is
a
it
place
far?
that you know. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, because the answer, you don't all have to give the same answer, right?
I think I would go for the rendezvous point and be like, I meet you guys there and we'll all try to make it.
I would say that I was gonna go to the rendezvous
And
point,
then
but
you
I
wouldn't
would
because you're a
not
jerk.
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a jerk. Yeah.
All right.
I am definitely going to the rendezvous point.
Okay. So, Clunk and Tam, I would like each of you to roll against. Let's see. Um, each of you are rolling against 2, and if you have a skill that seems like it would help you, you can try that. But otherwise, you're just rolling.
Well,
Go
I've
to
got
the
find the
rendezvous point.
path at 3.
Okay, there. Yeah, there you go. I'll let you do that.
And what, to get away?
This is to basically find your way back to the rendezvous point without getting spotted.
Um, I am going to attempt to use horse bribery on my pony
Okay.
to get it to figure out which way to go.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll allow it. So each of you.
I have a 10.
Okay, that succeeds.
I got a 3.
Okay. So I think Clunk, you find yourself in a horrible situation, which is you and your pony have been spotted, but you know that the last time the dragon went after the horses.
All right. Bill and I are making a run for it.
Okay.
I'm not giving up on Bill.
All right. Okay. So the dragon is following you at this point. So I'm rolling 3, but you're rolling one more something. What? Horse bribery again?
Yeah, and actually,
What are you
my-
promising your horse, your pony?
I'm promising my horse green pastures and lots of girl ponies to try his luck with.
Okay.
I'll set up the date, but he's got to close the deal.
All right. Go ahead and do your roll.
6 total.
I rolled 14. So, I am afraid that no one ever hears from Clunk again.
Should have used the bottle. I don't know what it does, but
Uh, Yeah.
Too late now.
So how about this? I will allow you to choose, if you like, that your pony survives.
The pony.
Go on without me, Bill.
If you prefer that outcome, but yes, otherwise, I
Yes.
think you hear it flapping, and then boom, and then it all just goes
All right.
white.
I tie the bottle to Bill's neck and shield him from the dragon
Mm-hmm.
and tell him to get back to the rendezvous.
All right. Now, click it. You are what? Just trying to leave town?
I'm going to go into that building where I saw my mom.
Okay.
That was probably
Well,
not my mom.
yeah, I was suggesting it was someone who reminded
Right.
you of your mom, but yeah.
Right. But I'm going to go in there. I'm going to
Okay.
like lockpick my way into that building
Okay. Yeah.
and go in there and confront that lady
All right.
who was giving me the stink
Yeah.
eye.
Yeah. Okay. I'm only rolling one for you to get in, and I think you're good at lockpicks, so.
Yeah. 6. I
Okay.
rolled like 2 ones and a
No,
4.
hey, that still gets it done. So I think that you get in there, and the lady is there looking at you and just going, "What? Well, I mean, we all do what we need to do, right?"
That horse betrayed us.
Oh, you know what? I'm sure it was a terrible, terrible horse, and you know what? I just totally can imagine why you would feel the need to do what you did.
I'm sorry. I mean, I had to. I had no choice. It was me or the horse. And
Roll to unburden yourself.
2.
I rolled 11. I think you know. So how about I think Click It survives, has the stone, but has to live with herself.
I think she'll be okay.
All right, so I think that is what where we're gonna leave it for.
Did I get
tonight.
paid at least?
Yeah. Yeah. So, presumably, assuming that you turned over the horn to the person who
Yeah,
set up the
after
crew.
that mess, I don't want nothing to do with any of this anymore. I'm done.
All right.
Did the pony show up with the bottle and turn that into the reward too?
Well, I
Because
think
that's what Click It would do.
I mean, I think I think we're gonna leave it a mystery, partly just because in main canon there are there are some more artifacts out there in the wind, so to speak. But in any case, yay! Roll for shoes, always fun. Thank you.
Can't believe we didn't all die.
Thank you everyone for listening and or watching. And yay Viv! Yay! And we should be back, I hope, with everybody for next week. For more adventure on so many levels.
So many levels.
So many levels.